Get ready. Asmongold time. Asmongold time. Uh-oh. Here we go.
Trump administration transfers education programs to other agencies in dismantling push. The White House announces it's shutting down the Department of Education.
Does anybody know what the Department of Education even does in the first place? I'm sure it actually does serve some important usage, like directing curriculum, maybe, like a standard, like a national standard for everything and everyone. But Common Core? Oh, okay, Common Core. Okay. Actually, nah, damn it, Google it.
Oh boy, yep. Thank God.
The Department of Education is responsible for administering federal assistance for education, which includes distributing funding, managing federal student loans, and overseeing programs for special education, disadvantaged students, and higher education. Okay. It also collects data on schools, enforces federal education laws related to civil rights and privacy, and works to promote student achievement and equal access to education. And this is being dismantled. Why? These all sound pretty damn important. Hello?
Yes, and by the way, anybody who's mad about this, kids are retarded. They're fucking retarded. So where's all this money going? Where are we getting? Like, so we're investing.
Hey, hold on. What? Why do you think they're retarded, right? I mean, speak for yourself. I mean, you're the result of this. And your entire chat is lacking in brain cells severely, okay? So, I mean, I don't want to hear it from someone. Of course, you're going to want to see it dismantled because you haven't benefited from it directly. Okay, you're like a fucking retard. So
all this money into the Department of Education, and the kids are fucking dumb. So I say shut it down. Shut it down. It's obviously not working.
It's not working. So instead of reforming it to actually make people smarter, we're just going to shut down the whole thing and make the dumb people even dumber. Okay. Oh wait, no, hold on. I know why this is happening, okay? This is happening because Asmongold wants to grow his audience, okay? I know what's going on, okay? I know what's going on. Because in order to be a part of Asmongold's audience, you have to be below a specific IQ number, okay? The less Department of Education there is, the more there is of Asmongolders, okay? I understand. He's thinking the long game, okay? He's doing a very smart streamer strat, okay?
So just get rid of it. Yeah, no more department. Yeah, why is this a W? I don't understand.
Asmongold has a degree. Business? Well, clearly. I mean, hey, dude, you know what? If he has a business degree, he's putting it to use, okay? Advocating for the dismantling of the Department of Education to increase his audience, that's a business strategy right there.
It is basically, it's not working. That's the reason why it's a W. Now, what would I do? If I was Trump, what would I do? I would completely reform the
Sorry, Asmongold. I misunderstood your game.
Department of Education. I would get rid of all the No Child Left Behind laws. I'd let tons of kids fail out of high school, and I'd allow the communities to effectively create an underclass so we can use people for batteries in 10 years. That's crucial.
Bro, what is... Dude, he is... Bruh. I think this is what Asmongold sounds like. He sounds like the average teenager who is saying the edgiest shit on purpose because they feel doomer about the world. Like, the average edgy teenager feels very doomer about the entire state of the world, even though they haven't, like, faced any real hardships. And they're like, yeah, just dismantle everything. Just dismantle everything. Like, this is, like, such a level 1 take.
Really what I would do. So that's really what I would... I just get rid of them, right? And I'd have, like, systems where, like, kids can, like... I would have a way to, like, remove kids from school and then put them into, like, other trade skills and other types of, like, labor things, right? That's what I would really do, because I think that would be better for them, too. Like, I'm trying to help them out. And so it's like, you can't...
Okay, this might be a hot take, okay? But I think that there is enough, like, service trade school motherfuckers. Also, not only that, trade school isn't as awesome as people think it is. There's a lot of flaws with trade school and getting into a trade. You still have to work extremely hard. You have to still work the same way that you have to get a degree in college. Competition is also really rough. You have to funnel your services through a third-party proprietor or through a company that manages your shit. And then they take a part of your funding. Not everyone can do it, okay? This is a market for a small group of people, okay? And it only pays well if you are the top of the top. Like, you are the top of the top of the top. Most of these guys are not able to make it, okay? In terms of trade school shit. Trust me. This is not something that anybody can do, okay? Stop. Yeah. It's a different type of college. Exactly. And again, it's kind of funny that he says, like, oh yeah, go to a trade school or whatever. You're talking about something that's kind of different, right? But at the same time, it's the same. It's higher education. It's still higher education. I'm sorry, but it's still technically higher education, right? It requires. Now you're BSing. How? Okay.
There's a thing that people believe that's a lie, that you can just teach somebody to be a chemical engineer. No, you can't. No, you can't. If you went to a working class public high school, you know that's not true. It's not. There are some people who were born to turn big rocks into little rocks. That is their destiny. Who are we to challenge nature? Send them to the coal mines. Send them to the I don't know, at the quarry. Have them, go get coal. Oil fields for them. Yes, exactly. And so we don't need to, this is so wrong. You think that it's wrong, but it's actually right. Forcing every single adult to go through Algebra 2 is a waste of tax money. It is. They're never going to learn it. They're always going to cheat. They're just going to use AI to get the answer. They're never going to use it. They're going to forget it 5 years after they graduate. This is for 95% of students. I'd say probably 99, actually. But let's be generous and say 95. Are we really in...
Nah, bro. Okay, nah. For the person who's like challenging my fucking like knowledge on this, yeah, I'm not like an expert on fucking trade school shit. But from everything that I've heard about trade schools, no, bro. It's another one of these things where there's a lot of propaganda going around. Especially like right-wing propaganda going around that is like propping up trade schools. But in actuality, 100% it's not what you think it is. Like statistically speaking, okay? Like the only stories that you hear are from people at the very top. And the only reason you get to hear these stories is because they survived long enough to do so. Do you know what that's called? That's called survivor's bias. Okay? The only voices that you hear about how amazing the trade is are the people who made it. It's the same thing with streamers. You don't see that they are stepping on the corpses of all the bodies that have failed in this field, right? That has not made it because their back gave out, or they suffered a physical injury, or they die early, right? I'm sorry, it's just not for everyone. It is what it is.
Investing our money the most efficient way by having 95% of students be learning something that they will instantly forget and never use. No. It's just simply not a good way to do it. California spends $100 billion on their education and they're still ranked 38th in the country. Yeah, fucking retarded. So more money is not the solution. The solution is is removing stupid kids from schools. And by the way, anybody who thinks...
Okay, so we should just give up on teaching stupid kids? Is there like no value in teaching stupid kids? Because I'm just curious, like where he draws the line on this, right? Should stupid kids just not go to school? Should there be a fucking IQ test for everyone? Are the kick people triggering her? No. It's that one motherfucking Emma person.
That I'm wrong. I have a very simple question that will immediately make...
Well, now you're just BSing. Man, shut the fuck up,
you realize
okay?
that I am not. If you removed the bottom 5% of dumb, annoying, misbehaving, problematic kids in your school, what percentage of the problems in your school would have gone away? The bottom 5%.
I feel like if this would have worked, we would have done it already. It's so crazy to me that Asmongold would sit here and pretend as if he is the first one to come up with all of these ideas. Bro, trust me, okay? You're not the first one, and people have tried out methods that you are talking about probably in the medieval age, and they found out how much it did not work, okay? So... I like how he's like drinking his fucking soda as if he's cooking. He's like staring at chat, trying to make sure that they affirm his take. And people tell me that he doesn't like the attention. Every single time he makes a take like that, like a really, really stupid take, he will look at his chat while drinking soda in order to get the validation that he needs.
Why is it that we allow the 95% to be terrorized and damaged by that 5%? Why do we do that? Is that really the right decision? Is that the good decision? Is that the fair decision? How is it fair that 95% of people need to be handicapped, set back, had problems, and having to deal with this bullshit just for the best interest of 5% of people that will probably contribute nothing to society in the long run? No retard left behind? Yes, exactly. Weak men and feminine empathy? Exactly. It's embarrassing.
What does feminine empathy have anything to do with it? Are you sure we're not even talking about like pragmatism here? You sure that no studies have been done on this? I like how he's making all these assertions where the dumber to take, the more confident he is about it being correct. He just has to find the dumbest take in the book, and then he makes an assertion and he's like, I can't believe the people with the PhDs, the school boards, the Department of Education before, people who have worked in the fucking education shit field their entire lives. He's the first one among all the teachers, all the professors, everyone who has made thousands and thousands and thousands of academic studies on this. He is the one without citing any evidence, without citing any studies. Like, he is the genius, okay? By the way, this is the definition of Dunning-Kruger, okay? Either this is Dunning-Kruger or it's grifting. Yeah.
Embarrassing. Yep.
Either he is too stupid to realize that he is wrong, or he's too smart to say something as stupid as this and he's lying. Right?
Send them out to the coal mines. Like, I would have a thing where basically this is elementary school, this is middle school, this is high school, okay? So
what is this? Hello? Oh no, dude. This is like pulling up the fucking MS Paint. Dude, I can't believe he's pulling up. Dude, he's like studying this. He's like, how do I fix the education system? I really do be cooking here, okay?
Okay.
Was Asmon forced to take very difficult classes? In my district, Texas, there was 3 different levels to high school, and you could choose basically what level of dumbass you could be and still graduate. Yeah, sure. I mean, it just sounds like Asmongold just wants one set of classes or some shit, right? I mean, I'm sure he's going to go into detail, right?
So after
right?
you graduate high school or elementary school,
no.
if you're really dumb, you get a different education program that is working towards mining. Now you're going to learn how to turn big rocks into little rocks, which rocks need to be turned into little rocks, and how. So
there has to be something better than mining. What? Okay, so according to you, they don't burden the school system anymore. And because they're so retarded, they're going to go and kill their other coworkers by doing like OSHA violations because they're too stupid to understand OSHA. Is that by your logic? By your logic, okay? Like, they're so stupid, they're going to take on mining. By the way, I'm pretty sure that profession is fading out just simply because of our developing economy and how we're going into a service economy, right? We're a service economy. We're not a manufacturing economy anymore, right? Or a raw resource economy, right? Like, that's not a thing anymore. We don't need to do that anymore, right? We have machines to do it for us. So it's kind of funny that he's suggesting this.
So wouldn't your grades put you into 5%? Yeah, I just would have gotten into 6%. Yeah, I would have just gotten better grades. Yeah, it's simple. And
does he mean a Minecraft? Oh, that I can advocate for.
Yeah, so now you break rocks. And then that's what happens. Now, they could maybe come back in if they're smart and they want to get their shit together. Maybe they could go back to middle school.
I'm in Minecraft looking for miners. Sorry.
But generally, that's where they're going to go. But if you're smart, you go to middle school. Now, whenever you graduate middle school, are you going to go for the high school?
Wait, what? You're sending kids off to the mine after elementary? Wait, hold on. The children yearn for the mines. He's completely non-serious, but at the same time, he is serious, right? It's like, what the fuck? What the fuck, dude? Bro, hey, Lil Billy, get in there. Bro, that's so crazy. Okay.
They're really dumb. Now, they could maybe come back in if they're smart and they want to get their shit together. Maybe they could go back to middle school later on. But generally, that's where they're going to go. But if you're smart, you go to middle school. Now, whenever you graduate middle school, are you going to go for the high school or are you going to become a farmer? You're going to be doing agriculture stuff. That's what you do instead. And then
what the No way, bro. There's absolutely no way. Dude, he's not real. He's just not a real person, okay? Like, Asmongold must be studied, okay? Asmongold must be studied, okay? He actually thinks he's cooking here, okay?
And inside of high school, are you going to go to college or are you going to go to a trade? So really, training people for a job that exists is better than... Think about what we're...
But it's a job that doesn't exist, right? Like, for example, it's not like we're back in the medieval days and we have to hurry and find more slaves and more farmers and more shit, right? We're not obligated to do things like that anymore, right? Like, to be entirely clear, we don't need to do that anymore, right? And for good reason too, right? I don't think it's a bad thing that we don't need to do that anymore. I think it's a good thing that we don't need to do that anymore, right? We have the technology to do that. In fact, if anything, more people that are specifically retarded, okay, more people that are like part of the bottom 5%, chances are they probably don't even know how to operate that tech, right? They probably don't even have enough brain cells to get going on that kind of shit, right? It's just, what are you? Hold on. Do you want us to be successful in agricultural shit or not? Like, why the fuck would you put dumb people in the agricultural shit if you aren't even guaranteed to have a good yield out of that? Like, you know what? I don't think he's thinking. I don't think he's thinking about the details. Okay, it's fine. It's okay. All right. By the way, just so you know, okay, it's not like dumb people are operating the farming shit or the mining shit anymore. Okay, I don't think that's the case. Sure, you need people. You need people who are like muscular, who are strong, and intelligence isn't that much of a requirement. But I'm not saying like no intelligence is required for these jobs. Like, for example, if you're a farmer, you need to know something about business. You need to know something about managing tools and doing upkeep and fixing shit on your farm. And even then, even if you do everything perfectly, farmers still need subsidies from the United States government in order to survive. Even then, they're barely making it through, farmers in the United States. Even then, they're unable to get their shit together, right? You're putting people into something that the more people that there is in it, the less that it kind of makes sense. Also, how do they acquire the farmland in the first place? You're telling me that you're gonna get people to become farmers, but how do they even get started on that? Like, is there an internship where you get handled a hoe or a plow, and they send you off to a farm to do shit until you acquire a farm of your own? How do you acquire a farm of your own? How do you buy that piece of land? You need money to buy that piece of land, right? Could you earn enough money from doing a farming internship to buy a piece of land to work on? Wait, but wouldn't competition rate be raised as well? Like, there's just so many questions. You know what? He's not thinking about this. It's fine, okay?
Doing here, right? Let's actually think about this in a genuine, real way. Are we really
thinking about? Yes. Okay, let's hear about the way that Asmongold thinks about things. Okay.
Doing anybody any favors by force-feeding them this education that they will never use, while at the same time we could have been using that same time to be able to educate them in something that they could use to take care of themselves? Are we really helping this person by making them memorize when the Civil War happened if they can't even do something that can generate a living for themselves? Are we really helping them? Is this really something that's beneficial for them? The answer to me is no, it's not.
No, you're wrong. And part of the reason why Asmongold is wrong is because as human beings, it's kind of hard to imagine down the line what things will look like. It's hard to imagine downstream benefits, right? Like, again, okay, when you have a disease, and nobody will disagree with me on this, hopefully, okay? Fingers crossed, all right? When you have a disease, you're not going to wait until later to see the doctor. You might even disrupt your work time. You might as well take a sick day off specifically so that you can go and see the doctor. Yeah, on that day, you could be missing a really important meeting, but you can't wait to see the doctor because it might be cancer, right? You want to go see the doctor immediately, especially if there's a high suspicion of cancer, right? So downstream benefits of catching a disease early is important, right? Nobody disagrees with that because people are generally extremely paranoid about getting cancer, okay? Now, with that being said, when it comes to stuff like education, people have a really hard time imagining in their heads, unlike medical issues, what the downstream benefits might be. Like, for example, the downstream benefits of learning about the Civil War. Well, you might end up with less retarded people who think that the Civil War was about states' rights and not about slavery, right? For as many people as there is right now who are like pro-Confederacy and will hang a Confederate flag up, that is the exact kind of people that we kind of want to prevent, right? We don't want these people around in the future, no? Because, yeah, they exist right now, but why do we want, because you have to think about things beyond money. You have to think about things beyond money. If we're talking about controlling the curriculum of the United States, you have to think about the way that people think, the way that people act, and the things that you want to imprint onto the students that are not just about making money, right? You want to make sure they have a solid grasp of arithmetic, history, a bunch of other things that encourage them to have the skills necessary in order to survive in any field, right? Straight up any field. However, obviously, there's not going to be any immediate benefits of that. There isn't. There really is not, right? Memorizing the multiplication table is not going to have immediate benefits except on the quiz or the exam or the test, right? Um, yeah. So you have to keep in mind that later on, you never know exactly how your brain might develop in order to benefit you down the line because you've learned a lot of these things right now, right? You don't even know the way that curriculum can be shaped in order to develop nerve connections in your brain. So then you are able to learn other skills faster later on in life. So then you don't have to be at like a non-reading level. Is because I'm pretty sure Asmongold at some point, Googled, oh, what is the American literacy rate? How many Americans can even read? Right? If he's so bothered by that, right? Why wouldn't you support something like the Department of Education mandating people how to read, right? Do you think people can become successful farmers or coal miners out of elementary school if they don't know how to read? If they don't know how to follow warning signs or instructions? Or if they don't know how to read because a farm operates like a business, right? Because a farm operates like a business, there's a lot of paperwork, right? Again, you still aren't learning the necessary skills to even do the jobs that you want them to do, right? Yeah. Anyway.
It's not beneficial. It's not even close. You're clueless. Everybody says I'm crazy. Everybody says you keep getting.
Nah, bro, don't worry, okay? All right. You're smarter than all of academia. You're smarter than all the teachers and the school board and the scientists who have studied how the brain develops.
Pulled up. You're getting pulled up. Go ahead.
Oh, by the way, whenever he says pull up, he doesn't mean actually debate because we all know that he would crumble in a debate. He means pulling up like the fucking chat and then laughing at and awkwardly waiting for them to type in something.
So you want to put dumbass high scores in our food industry? No thanks.
That's a good point. Why the fuck would you do that? Yeah, exactly.
Oh, no thanks? Go to McDonald's and see who's over there. So what about this is wrong?
People who can read, follow instructions, be able to read a receipt, be able to count money, be able to talk to people. Yeah, the kinds of people who have learned these skills at their core in school. Yeah. Yeah. People that you force to drop out to do X and Y, they're not going to have the skills necessary. Like, yeah, it's really as simple as that. I'm so glad he brought up McDonald's too. Yeah, because again, you need the basic skills. Yes, you do. Even for McDonald's, yes.
You're not thinking long term. The system that you're saying has happened in Iran and it backfired with rich people who pay for grades in school became.
You're not just putting fries in the bag.
The doctors and the best engineer and become simple mechanics. Well, how does that even make sense? So that doesn't mean that dumb people can't get good grades. I mean, Iran, what the fuck? I don't know what happened in Iran. Iran's a totally different country. So, yeah, you can't make decisions based off of what happened in Iran. Like, what do you mean? It's a completely different culture. It's a different place. It's a different, like, environment. Everything's different. So, yeah. Uh-oh. Didn't we do the exact same thing that the kids that had dyslexia in the past, though, declare them retards because they had issues with reading? Not necessarily. I mean, obviously, you've got to figure out why somebody's retarded. But, like, if somebody's getting bad grades constantly, why are they in school? Why are they in school? What's the reason? And so only dumb people can get good grades with efforts? Exactly. I don't know what else to say. They force people into long studies, and now you have a gazillion art majors, a saturated job market. Yeah, so do we have any sort of argument from here? School is a way to gauge people's skillfulness? Exactly. And the gauge has decided that you're going to the mines. That's right. 100%. It's that simple. It's that simple. Anybody who's been to a public school knows what I'm saying is true. Anybody who's been there knows it's true. And yeah, now he's going to the shadow realm. It's obvious. It's obvious.
You know what? Fair enough, okay? I ban whoever I want to,
Some
okay?
people are just born with less talent points than others. There are some people who are born to be retards. That's it. They're never going to be anything more than a retard. 2025 politics headlines. Trump does not want to execute members of...
I think it might be Dunning-Kruger, actually.
Oh, come on, man. What? Guys, I thought he was going to be a dictator. We got scammed. Congress should vote on it, yes. Not a fascist president. This is crazy. Life is full of disappointments. I know, isn't it crazy? And do French companies take refunds? I don't know. And what's Kim Jong-un? I don't know, man. And anyway, so that's really it. Was this the... Oh, I saw this yesterday. But yeah, Trump did say some...
He's not joking, by the way. I know he's not joking, okay? I think what I noticed Asmongold doing, and you know what? At this point, I'm like well versed in the art of manipulation. Not manipulation, but how to avoid responsibility and accountability, right? Because when you make your serious statements sound like a joke, what you do is that you establish plausible deniability for yourself, because now they get to just frame all the unironic things that they support as jokes or memes, right? And by doing so, they don't need to take accountability for anything, because now when you confront them, they get to retreat back to the mot, right? They want to retreat back to the mot of wait, mot is the defensive position, right? For Mott and Bailey, they get to retreat back to a more defensive position of, well, it's just memes, bro. It just means, can't you see that Asmongold is having fun? And then when they need to push forward, they unironically say it without any hint of irony behind it. So, yeah, like this is the strategy, and it works, and it also works.
Stupid shit.
Yeah.
He did, like him saying about...
Nobody knows what the... I think it's the Mott. I think it's the Mott. Hold on. Oh, sorry. Wait, what? Oh, Mott. Mott is the defensive position. The Bailey is the more like attack, like, oh, go to attack position. Yeah.
Out like trying people for sedition, and he retweeted somebody saying hanging people. What a stupid thing to say. Like, honestly, like that's the kind of stuff. This is what, you know what makes me so fucking mad about this is that this is the kind of stuff that people like Kyle will bring up for the next 5.
Oh my, he's still mad over Kyle. He's still mad over Kyle Kulinski? Bro. How... Dude, you know that Kyle got to him. You know that Kyle got to him, dude. Yeah, he's got Kyle derangement syndrome.
5 years. And do you know why? Because they're right. They're right. Trump should have never said that. He should have never said that. It's fucking retarded. All it does is you're shooting yourself in the foot and you make yourself look like a retard. You're not going to charge any of them for sedition. So why even say it? If you're going to say this, again, you know, Lyndon Johnson, okay? You know, a lot of people say he was involved with JFK getting killed, all right? You know what he said? Only a fool tells a man what he's going to do before he does it. And I thought to myself, you know, like, maybe we had a real one in the White House whenever we had those Iran bombings, whenever Trump came out and said it already happened. And I said, okay, all right, maybe we got a real one in here. He was a psychopath? Exactly, that's what I wanted. That was my whole point.
What game is that? Your mom.
What do you think? Like, I mean, yeah, you need somebody like that. You want to have somebody like that on your side? I do. Absolutely. I want to have somebody that's fucking nuts. I want to have somebody that's willing to do anything, man. Absolutely. Because if you don't have that, you're going to lose to the people that do. I want to have a extremely high-functioning person who's basically a psycho. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because if you don't, you're going to get run over by the people that are. Dick Cheney? No, he's just trying to make money. That bald-ass bitch shot his fucking friend. He shot his fucking friend when they were hunting. He doesn't know a damn thing. And so, no, we want a walking nuke. Yeah.
Bro, dude, he's not beating the stereotype of, like, angry guy sitting alone, okay, at his fucking computer, all right, being mad at the world, but not willing to do anything himself because he doesn't have the guts to, dude. He's such a coward. He's such a coward. If he truly believes that all of these guys should die, and he unironically advocates for this stuff, he should just, like, go and do it himself, okay? Otherwise, he's not willing to stand on anything. Because at the end of the at the end of the day, like Asmongold and all of his little friends are like just a bunch of cowards, okay? Yeah, his fan base are just completely the most inbred fan base that has ever been conceived. And they would all be sent off to the mines and the farms that Asmongold was talking about. And Asmongold himself, all right, due to both of his parents dying, okay, due to having no fucking outward connection towards anybody, he's become like a very spiteful person. Like you can tell, right? Because like what happened to Notch? What happened to J.K. Rowling, right? They went through the same exact fucking thing.
Exactly. You got to have a crazy motherfucker on your side. Yes. We got plenty more time to see Psycho. We got 3 years. Now we got 8 years before this. And he hasn't done anything super crazy. And so Hillary Clinton still never even got arrested, man. Like, I'm not about it at all. So yeah, it's disappointing because yeah, this is the stuff that Democrats will bring up indefinitely about like Republicans like pushing violence, and they won't be wrong. That's the problem. Is like they'll misrepresent 50 things, but they'll be right about this one thing, like they were with January 6th, for example. And it makes Republicans and conservatives look like, you know, really violent retards. And again, it's because of Trump. Like the majority of these bad fuck up things that have happened are.
Wait, so they didn't look like retards for like the last like 10 years? Dude, the entire time for these 10 years, the Republicans have been outwardly like running on a fucking 20 IQ deficit agenda, okay? Like the entire time they want to lower the rest of the nation's like IQ on purpose, so then they are able to say, see, we're not like that stupid, right? We are part of the norm, the average, the median IQ.
Because of Trump. Trump did these. And I find it to be extremely frustrating. I'll tell you that. So yeah, the reason why she wasn't arrested is there's no space for lizards, in jail, man. Well, you can make a special lizard jail. That's really it. Why do people hate you? People, I'll tell you, you want to know why people hate me? They hate me because I tell the truth. That's the reason.
That is just about the biggest cope I have ever heard, ever. And I have seen a lot of cope from Jay Stelk, okay? Jay Stelk copes like a motherfucker, okay? He is the king of coping, okay? But this is on another level.
Why they hate me.
Jesus.
And it's really just that simple. Everybody hates me because they know that I'm going to say what I think, and that's what really bothers them.
Nobody hates you because like you say what you think, okay? We hate you because you spread far-right propaganda. That's why, okay? Nobody, bro, you know what? If it weren't for the far-right propaganda point, we would be having fun farming you, okay? We would be having fun laughing at you. We would be having a good gaff, all right? Because you're like the stupid one in the whole group, right? Like nobody hates you because like you're speaking the truth, all right? Oh my god, dude, this is like such like done. This is actually just copium, like epic copium right here. Holy
only
shit.
About the thing that I think that bothers them too, but also the fact that I will say it. I think that there's a lot of other people that resent the fact that I do that, and they don't like it at all, and they don't like what I represent. They don't like anything about me because effectively I am a person. This is why people really hate me. I am a person who has on paper.
By the way, very humble, right? Very humble presenting, right? This is exactly what I mean when Asmongold like presents humbly, like appearance-wise, but then everything he says is just very self-serving, very egotistical, and it works. It works for his audience because his audience will still say, "Well, you don't understand. Asmongold came from a very poor background. He's a smart person. He came from a poor background, right?" Basically the usual cope, right?
Done everything wrong in life. I went to middle school. I didn't do anything in middle school except for sell fireworks. I went to high school. I did absolutely nothing. I graduated with like a 2.4 GPA.
Wait, but now all your talk about like the education shit just sounds like projection. It just sounds like you didn't do well in school. You didn't do well in school because you're a fucking retard. But then you're just assuming everybody else is like you, bro. Dude,
I remember my
God.
teacher. So my dad sends me to like a rich white people school. Okay, sends me to a rich white people school. I didn't fit in there. All right, I didn't like it there. I was like, who are these fucking weird people, right? And so I told my dad's like, you have to go here because I want you to be successful as a person whenever you become an adult. I said, okay. Well, success is good grades, right? And he's like, yeah, okay. And I said, all right. Well, I'm gonna fail every single class. I'm going to fail every single class, and I'm not going to do anything. And he's like, you can't do that. And I say, okay. All right. I graduate, and in my first...
You fail the classes on purpose? You sure that's what happened? You sure you were trying to fail the classes on purpose? Okay. Either you're dumb enough to fail these classes, all of them, and then you came up with this cope, or you were dumb enough to assume that failing them on purpose would result in a positive outcome for you, okay? It's either one of these two, okay? It's either one. I have never heard even of a bad student trying to fail a test or a class on purpose like that. I've never heard it before, okay? Okay, maybe there is. Okay, maybe there is someone out there who is like that, but very far and few between. Yeah. But you know what? It's okay, okay? He's going through his cope dialectry, okay?
first semester of my...
Or he hated his dad. Well, I mean, he's dead now, so I think he should be happy, right?
of my freshman year, my GPA was a .08. He tried taking away my Xbox. He tried yelling at me. He tried to force me to do the work. He tried to make sure to do everything that he could to get me to do stuff. But at the end of the day, you can't make somebody do something. You can't. You cannot make somebody do something.
You cannot lead the retarded horse to the water, okay? The retarded horse may sit down at the fucking desk, but it cannot learn the actual molecules H2O. It did not understand the periodic table of the element. It did not learn what the water is. You cannot teach the retarded horse what the water is. You cannot lead the retarded horse down to the water.
And I completely, I totally ruined it. And I did. And so inspirational, I did. And you know what he did? He sent me to the school that I wanted to go to with all my friends. He did. Because I said, I'm just going to fail out of high school. That's fine. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, you want to do that? I was 14. I said, I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to fail out of high school. So one or the other. I already did it for one semester. I can do it for the rest of the time too. It's fine.
Do not
and so that was it. Unless slavery, yes. And then I got what I wanted. So, and that's what I said before about the Trump thing. Unless you are willing to take it to the edge, unless you are willing to destroy yourself, in a lot of cases, people that are powerful will not listen to you. You have to be willing to do anything, or people will not take you seriously. And so anyway, you
failing your classes on purpose is equal to Trump executing politicians.
Yeah, and so you're an outlier. Most people would do that, would end up in jail. No, yeah, it's not. Why would you go to jail because you fail classes? Why would you go to jail because you fail school? That doesn't even make sense. And so anyway, I failed out of that. I went to community college, got a degree. I didn't do anything with the degree. I didn't care about that at all. I just did that to get my dad off my ass, and so I could collect free student aid money. And then the rest of the time, I played video games. I worked at the IRS partially. I don't really shower.
Dude, he worked at the IRS, okay? Dude, it's so crazy. It's so crazy that someone who has worked for the IRS does not understand the value of taxes. And I think you can probably make a fairly good case that Asmongold is bad faith, right? Yeah.
I act like an asshole. I talk like an asshole. I behave like an asshole. I have done everything wrong in my life. Every single thing that your parents tell you whenever you are 8 years old not to do, I looked at that as like a fucking...
Wait, hold on. Wait, what does Asmongold think about, like... What does Asmongold think about, like, the average person that did what he did, right? Because there is plenty of people who probably did what Asmongold did, right? Fail classes on purpose, do X and Y, right? But where do you think these people are now, right? Where do you think these people are now? They're not big time streamers, right? They're not big time streamers. Isn't this like kind of the definition of survivor's bias? Once again, survivor's bias is just like, is that you are the one that made it, so then you get to tell the story. But dead man tells no tales, right?
Achievement score, and I 100%ed it. And that's it. Actually, I didn't 100%. I didn't do drugs. I don't do drugs. I don't drink, okay? That's the one thing I didn't do.
Dude, Asmongold has to be studied. Asmongold has to be studied because he's such a good example of audience capture. It's crazy.
Everything else, so
He
people
has to be
see that
studied.
and they get
Put
mad.
that shit under a
They get mad.
microscope.
They get mad the fact that somebody like me is in a position that I'm in. That's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it was bro thought it was a challenge. Exactly. That's the reason why people don't like me. I think that's really the main reason. People don't know how parents do manipulation, so they play things out for their own benefit, even if you're their own child. Why can you do the same? Well, at the end of the day, I don't need to justify what I do because I'm not accountable to anybody else. I'm not accountable to my parents. I'm not accountable to the society. I'm not accountable to any other human being other than myself. So if I choose to do something, I don't need to explain myself or make other people agree with me, really. I mean, I obviously can't break the law, right? But other than that, it doesn't... like whatever judgment you have on it is just really not important to me. The thing that's important to me is getting what I want. And so I only work towards that one direct goal, right?
Bro really thinks he's like such a cool anime character, dude. It's so cringe. It's so cringe that he always paints himself out to be like the coolest person on planet Earth. When he was born at the right place in the right time to become a big streamer, right? Like, I don't think Destiny ever says, oh yeah, well, at the end of the day, like, insert villain monologue right here, right? Like, he'll say, like, I'm pretty sure he has literally said that if he tried to start streaming today with his same personality, with his same insight, that he would not be able to make it, right? He said that verbatim, that, oh yeah, if he started streaming in this specific time period with the same layout, with the same everything, he would not be able to make it, right? Just simply because back then it was just so much more competitive, right? But I think that Asmongold understands this. Yeah, I just think he's just being bad faith and lying and not putting enough brain cells to it because his audience likes that. Okay, his audience likes it when he dumbs down things for them. Okay,
And so that's it. You're definitely not an asshole for real. I don't think I'm an asshole either. I just didn't want to do it. And so if people push me into a position, never let people put you in a position you don't want to be in. That's really all there is to it. And so yeah, it's pretty normal.
well, I mean that's again, that's easy for you to say, all right, but not everyone gets to like grow up eventually into someone who is not held accountable by anything, right? Because I would wager like most people are still held accountable to their parents or to their community, from their community, or by the school in some way, right? So they can't just do whatever like you want them to do. Like, what
Absolutely, man. You got the gift to keep yapping about things on stream. You know what? I used to do this when I was a kid too. Like I would go up and I would do like speeches in school. And I would just go up and like the first like maybe minute would be the speech, and then the rest of it would just be me talking, telling jokes about random things. And I remember every single time that I would get like a perfect grade on my presentation, but I wouldn't have actually done any of the work. And so I'd end up like getting like a C+ or something like that. And that was it. Trump.
Bro, he's so, dude. I feel like this entire segment is just Asmongold trying to justify his shitty behavior in school. I wouldn't be surprised if he still felt incredibly insecure about like the way he acted in school, and that's why he's like talking like this. He probably feels some degree of him being not smart, and he probably feels like he's a dumb person. Even though I don't think he's a dumb person, but he probably feels that himself is a dumb person. But he's trying to now like backwards rationalize everything that he's done so that he can make himself feel better to assuage his like broken ego, right? Don't get me wrong, okay? Hassan will always be more of an egotistical person than Asmongold at the end of the day, but Asmongold himself is extremely egotistical and way more egotistical than the average person. So yeah, just don't let that get in the way of you thinking that just because he's being compared to Hassan right now, right? Yeah, same thing. This kind of pathological and probably why he never has any relationships. Yeah, I actually wonder like how many relationships he has been through at this point, like with these ABGs. Like clearly he has a yellow fever, but like to me it doesn't really matter as much as like are you even good at these relationships in general, or like are you even treating people right, or just like way too egotistical to like keep a relationship stable, right? Or I don't know. Like I would be curious to know the details. But I don't think he's abusive. I just think that he might just be I don't know. Like I don't know why it doesn't work out for him. Yeah, who knows?
I don't know about that, but like this is just what I did in middle school, especially, right? And yeah, Bro, how's being an asshole for doing what you want? Yeah, your parents live their life. Yeah, I just want to do what I want. And like I was 14 at the time.
He probably just doesn't want to be held accountable by anyone. Yeah, but he's backwards rationalizing all the fucking shitty things that he did in school as if like they were like looking back in hindsight, they were all good things, right? But that's not going to work for everyone, and especially to his audience, where most of them, the vast majority of them, will like are probably like basement dweller elementary school kids, right? Now they're going to be incentivized to do shit. Like, how old do you think his like audience is? Probably people in their 20s, right? 20s, 30s, at max, right? And probably some teenagers. But I don't know. Like, I can't imagine the amount of like parents suffering that Asmongold is causing right now because he's encouraging people to fail on purpose so that they can become live streamers. Dude, even Steven himself has said that he wants Nathan to go to a college and to get good grades and do a regular ass job before trying out streaming, because he knows that what he has is survivor's bias, right? That so, yeah, it's like because he recognized that survivor's bias exists, and he only is able to make it just simply because he was in the right place at the right time doing the right things, right? Yeah.
But and I had already made other decisions.
Same with me, right? Let's just say I was not here, or I was trying to make it doing other things. I don't think I would have like if it weren't for Steven's case, if it weren't for the Steven drama shit, I don't think I would have been boosted to this, like, not even close, right? So yeah, let's not pretend like that's not the case either, right? Right place, right time, doing the right actions, right? Yeah.
It's like that. My dad was very controlling in a lot of ways. Like he would be extremely like he was the kind of dad that I would get a 97 on a test and he'd be like, "What'd you miss? What was it?" That's the kind of dad he was. And so he's an asshole, right? I love my dad. Great guy. But he's an asshole. All right? He's a fucking asshole. And so, yeah, it's just that simple. That's typical for Germans, too. Yeah, well, that's the way it was. And there were a lot of other things like that he would...
Oh, does he have German ancestry? I was like, who the fuck mentioned Germans? Is this... I'm guessing that his ancestry is, like, Germanish, right?
Would do. Like, I would... He would be calling me lazy whenever I'd be working 12 hours a day because I'm not doing this other thing that he thinks that I should be doing. He's like, "Oh, you should do this. You should work with this company and like do this thing, like, you know, because you're talking like that guy." Yeah. And like that was it. Yeah, and so that's always how it was for me, right? And so if you don't push back on that, people like that will just completely control your life. They will completely domineer every aspect of your life. They will remove your...
Except he wouldn't get a 97 on a test. Yeah, I wonder, because isn't this kind of contradictory? So he's saying that he fails on purpose, which is something that I already question, right? Because if I were to guess, he's probably just a dumbass, and he would end up in the fucking coal mines if he adhered to his own fucking system. Yeah, like, how do you square that with... How do you square that? Yeah, it makes no sense.
Or agency for everything, and they will take everything that they do and everything that they believe, and they will put it on you. So yes.
Bro, can't you just let your dad rest? Your dad is already dead, bro. Your dad's already dead. Like, can't you just let him, like, rest in peace? Like, bro, why are you just, like, fucking smack talking your dead dad? That's so crazy to me. Like, I'm sure he loved his dad, okay? Like 100% sure he loved his dad, all right? Because the way that he talks about them seems to be genuine. But at the same time, it's like, bro, this soon? What the fuck?
When you're a child, you have no money, you're accountable to your parents, whether you like it or not. Who decided that? Not me. Why would I? So you tell me something. Why should I listen to you? Fuck that. Society? Fuck society. I ain't gonna listen to them. I do what I want. Yeah. And so your dad helped you develop a...
I think it's divorce stuff. He could get away with shit because parents were getting divorced, plus he's spoiled because of that. I don't even know if he's spoiled. Is he spoiled? I'm not sure. I don't think that's the case, no? Yeah.
Strong personality.
That would just be assumption.
My dad always told me, and the thing is, like, it was his fault that I was like this. Because as a little kid, I was like 5 years old. He told me every law in the world is made up. You can do anything that you want. The only thing you need to worry about is not getting caught and the ability to do it and not get in trouble. That's it. And he told me this when I was a little kid. He said, every law in the world is made up. He would point out...
Oh, dude, I am genuinely not sure how much of this is true. I'm genuinely not sure because this can entirely be true. Okay, your dad can totally have been on a fucking leftist tirade about like how all the laws in the world are made up and it's social contract and this is all like social constructs and stuff like that. But like because at some point my fucking bullshit radar is like fucking like ringing in my head. Like what in the like I'm trying to think. Okay, so your parents are your dad is academically strict, but he's telling you that you can get away with shit as long as people never find out. So you're telling me that he's encouraging you to cheat on tests and exams, right? I feel like that's a really logical conclusion that you can derive from that, right? If you don't get caught cheating on a test and you want to get really high grades, then he's encouraging you to cheat? Question mark? Maybe I'm reading this wrong. Who knows? I don't know.
The stop signs and all the traffic signs.
Okay.
Because I'd always ask him, like, why are you going so fast? It says 40. Why is the thing on the car say 90? He's like, somebody just made that up. Somebody just made that up. That was it. And so that was the way that I grew up. Yeah, it's a suggestion. Yeah, he's like, yeah, who put this up? Traffic laws aren't murder? Yeah, I guess not, right? But yeah, ain't wrong. Sometimes you just have to go fast. Was he raised in...
Wait, I'm so curious. So there's no such thing as murder then, right? Because if everything is made up, then what's the point in calling it murder? Wait, hold on. If laws are made up, what's the point? Actually, no. He does believe in framing leftists for evidence that isn't there. No, he does believe that. Never mind.
A harsh environment? Extremely harsh.
Is.
Extremely.
Crazy.
Ridiculously harsh. Yeah, and so anyway, yeah, that's really I think that's the reason why people don't like me. That's the point, right?
No, no, none of that made any kind of sense. What the fuck? Bro. This has to be one of the stupidest Asmongold videos I've watched yet. Especially when he said that you should send children off to the mines after elementary school if they're stupid. Like, bro, some people are late bloomers, dude. And he wants to send middle school graduates off to the farms. If they fall behind on middle school, there's plenty of people who have fallen behind on elementary school and middle school, but then turned out to be very successful people, right? Later on. Plenty of people, all right? Plenty. There are some people who don't even take school seriously until college, right? Because they have the independence necessary to develop skills and develop things, and that completely changed them as a person, right? Like, we don't... Yeah, I don't know. Like, this shit is stupid, dude. This shit is just so stupid. Is he saying he's okay with people like him being sent off to the... It must be. It must be the most logical conclusion. Yeah, it's the most logical... That's me? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Also, not to mention, he's advocating for retards to be operating mining equipment and farming equipment. Bro, dude, they're gonna use that mining equipment, farming equipment to like run over their fucking manager or to kill the manager. Like, they probably don't even have the emotional like control to do things. Every day I question myself more and more about my sanity and my place in this world. Every single time I watch Asmongold, I feel like I'm just getting, oh god, just horrible. It's just some of the most heinous content I've ever seen.